If you're over 60 and waking up to pee at night, this may not be aging. It may be a mistake you make every single evening. You've been told for years that waking up at night to use the bathroom, struggling to fall asleep, or feeling drained in the morning is just a normal part of aging. But what if I told you that many of these struggles are actually caused by the small things you do, almost automatically, each night before bed? Things that seem harmless, familiar, even comforting. But behind the scenes, they could be silently damaging your prostate health night after night. Hi, I'm Dr. William Harris, and if you're over 60, like many of the wonderful men I've cared for, this message is especially for you. Today I want to walk you through 7 bedtime habits that may be quietly working against your prostate, your bladder, and your sleep. And I promise, some of these will genuinely surprise you. Before we begin, I'd love for you to drop a comment and say hello, maybe even let me know where you're watching from. It's a small thing, but it helps us connect as a community. You're not on this journey alone. And if you find this kind of content helpful, go ahead and subscribe so you'll never miss an important message for your health. Let's begin with one of the most common and most misunderstood habits. 1. Drinking too much water at night. You've been told to stay hydrated, and it's true, drinking enough water is crucial, but when you drink matters just as much as how much you drink. For older adults, drinking large amounts of fluid after dinner or sipping herbal teas or medication with full glasses of water right before bed can quietly overload your bladder. Why does this matter? Because as we age, our prostate often becomes enlarged. That means your bladder already has less room to hold liquid. Add a full load of fluids before sleep, and suddenly your bladder is under pressure all night long. The result? You wake up once, twice, even 3 times to urinate. Each time, your body misses out on the deep healing phases of sleep, the ones where inflammation calms down and the prostate has a chance to recover. The fix here is simple. Shift your hydration schedule. Drink plenty of water during the day, especially in the morning and afternoon. But aim to stop drinking fluids at least 90 minutes before bedtime. If you take medications in the evening, ask your doctor if the timing can be adjusted. A bladder that's less full overnight means deeper rest, fewer interruptions, and a calmer prostate. 2. Wearing tight or constricting sleepwear. It might not seem like a big deal, but what you wear to bed can directly affect your pelvic health. Tight waistbands, snug underwear, or form-fitting pajama pants can compress the lower abdomen, reducing circulation and applying pressure right where your prostate lives. You see, the pelvic region is full of delicate blood vessels. When compressed, blood flow is restricted, and the prostate doesn't get the oxygen and nutrients it needs to stay healthy. Especially for men with enlarged prostates, this can contribute to increased irritation and even discomfort during the night. Instead, choose loose, breathable sleepwear. Soft cotton boxers, relaxed pajama pants, or simply sleeping in comfortable shorts can make a surprising difference. Your lower body needs space to breathe, and your circulation depends on freedom, not friction. 3. Taking the wrong medications too late in the evening. Here's one that catches many seniors off guard. Several common medications, from decongestants to over-the-counter painkillers to certain antidepressants, can actually tighten the muscles around your bladder, neck, and urethra. When taken late in the evening, these drugs may increase nighttime urination, cause incomplete emptying of the bladder, or contribute to feelings of urgency that wake you up repeatedly. Even some medications prescribed for sleep can backfire by reducing the quality of your deep sleep, making you more sensitive to small bladder signals. Always talk to your doctor about the timing of your medications, especially if you've noticed changes in your urination patterns or sleep quality. There may be safer alternatives or better times to take them that won't disrupt your prostate function at night. Or skipping that final bathroom trip before bed. This might sound too obvious to be important, but skipping your final trip to the bathroom before sleep is a bigger mistake than most people realize. Even if you don't feel the need to urinate, your bladder often still contains small amounts of urine, especially if your prostate is enlarged. This residual urine creates pressure and irritation during the night, prompting your bladder to send frequent signals to the brain saying, "Wake up, it's time to go." And that's not all. Stagnant urine sitting in the bladder overnight increases the risk of bacterial growth, which can lead to urinary tract infections, a painful and frustrating problem for many older men. The fix? Make it a habit, a ritual even, to always visit the bathroom before lying down. Take a moment to sit, relax, and give your body a chance to fully empty the bladder. This small habit can significantly reduce nighttime urination and help restore deeper, uninterrupted rest. 5. Sleeping in an overheated bedroom. Many seniors find warmth comforting, but if your bedroom is too warm at night, it may actually aggravate prostate discomfort. Here's why. Excessive heat can cause the body's tissues to become more inflamed and prevent you from reaching deep, restorative stages of sleep. When your room is hot and stuffy, your body may struggle to regulate its temperature. You sweat more, your heart rate rises, and inflammation can quietly worsen, including inflammation of the prostate. The ideal sleeping temperature is somewhere between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Use light layers of breathable blankets. Avoid thick electric throws or bulky pajamas that trap heat, and keep a small fan or cracked window for airflow if needed. A cooler room helps your nervous system relax, improves sleep quality, and allows your prostate a better environment to recover overnight. 6. Overloading your brain before bedtime. You may not realize it, but what you feed your mind before bed can affect your prostate nearly as much as what you feed your body. Many men have a habit of scrolling through the news on their phone, checking financial updates, or watching emotionally intense TV shows right up until the moment they turn off the lights. And while it may seem harmless or even routine, this mental overload can silently trigger a chain reaction that keeps your body on high alert. Why does this matter for your prostate? Because your brain and bladder are more connected than you think. When your mind is flooded with stress-inducing or stimulating content, your sympathetic nervous system kicks in. This is the system responsible for fight or flight. It raises your cortisol, tightens your muscles, increases your heart rate, and yes, it can make your bladder more sensitive and reactive. You might lie in bed, wide awake, feeling restless, or maybe you fall asleep but wake up an hour later with the sudden urge to urinate, only to find there's barely anything there. That's the nervous system misfiring. The solution is surprisingly simple. Start a wind-down routine. About 45 minutes before bed, disconnect from news, devices, and intense conversations. Choose quiet, calming activities, like reading a light novel, listening to soothing music, or just dimming the lights and chatting with your spouse. Give your nervous system a chance to shift gears. Your prostate will thank you. 7. Going to bed while stressed or anxious. This final habit may be the most harmful and the most invisible. Going to sleep while your heart is heavy, your mind is racing, or your emotions are unsettled doesn't just cost you sleep, it steals your body's chance to heal. When you carry stress into sleep, your body produces higher levels of cortisol, the primary stress hormone. Cortisol suppresses your immune function, increases inflammation, and disrupts testosterone levels. And all three of these can directly worsen prostate symptoms. In fact, chronic stress has been linked to faster prostate enlargement, more frequent urination, and even greater difficulty with bladder control. But here's the encouraging news. You don't have to eliminate stress. You just need to release it before bed. Try this. Sit quietly in your bedroom, lights low. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold that breath for 4. Exhale through your mouth for 6. Repeat this a few times. It's a small practice, but one that can have big impact. If journaling helps you, keep a small notepad by your bedside. Write down the one thing you're grateful for and the one thing you're choosing to let go of tonight. You may be surprised how much lighter you feel. Peace of mind is prostate medicine, and underestimate it. Let's recap and reflect. Now that you've heard all 7 of these nighttime habits, it's time to take a step back. None of these habits on their own will destroy your prostate health overnight, but practiced repeatedly over weeks, months, and years, they quietly build pressure, irritation, and inflammation that do lead to serious disruptions. Let's quickly revisit what we've learned. Negated too much water too close to bedtime pushes your bladder into overdrive. Wearing tight or compressive clothing reduces pelvic circulation. Taking the wrong meds at the wrong time increases pressure and urgency. Skipping your final bathroom trip leaves residual urine that causes nighttime discomfort. Sleeping in an overheated bedroom triggers inflammation and light sleep. Overloading your mind with digital input before bed keeps your system wired and anxious. And going to bed stressed activates your nervous system in a way that blocks healing. But there's good news. None of these issues require major surgery or expensive treatments to fix. They're mostly about awareness and consistency. And once you adjust these small habits, step by step, your body can begin to relax. Your sleep can deepen and your prostate can start to recover. But wait, what happens next? Where do you go from here? That's what we'll cover in the next part. What you can do starting tonight. Most men, once they hear this list, feel a mix of emotions. Surprise, a bit of regret, maybe even frustration. Why didn't someone tell me this earlier? But what I want you to know is this. It's not too late. Your body doesn't need perfection, it needs consistency. Every one of these small changes, adjusting your water intake, putting on looser sleepwear, turning off the news early, or simply breathing deeply before bed, has the power to shift your body out of stress mode and into healing mode. And when it comes to the prostate, healing happens slowly, quietly, but powerfully, especially when you give it the space to do so while you sleep. You see, nighttime isn't just for rest, it's when your body regenerates. Your cells clean up inflammation, your hormones balance out, your bladder resets its rhythm. But all of this requires uninterrupted sleep, relaxed circulation, and reduced tension in the lower pelvis. That's what these habits are really about, not just avoiding pain, but giving your body back its natural rhythm. Gentle routine that supports your prostate is a simple example of what a healthier nighttime flow could look like for a man over 60. 6 a.m. p.m. Finish most of your daily water intake. Sip lightly afterward. 6:30 p.m. Light walk after dinner to aid digestion and ease constipation risk. 7 o'clock p.m. Switch to low sodium, easy to digest snacks if you're still hungry. 8 o'clock p.m. Begin winding down, turn off intense news or devices, take a warm shower. 8:30 p.m. Light stretching or deep breathing. Loosen up the hips, thighs and pelvic area. 8:45 p.m. Final trip to the bathroom. Don't skip it, even if you don't feel the urge. 9:00 m. Lie down in a cool, quiet room wearing loose clothing. No phones, no noise, just stillness. This isn't about becoming a health monk. It's about respecting what your body needs in this chapter of life. And your body is asking, begging even, for rest, rhythm, and less pressure. Why men over 60 often miss these signs. You might be wondering why these things aren't talked about more. The truth is, many older men are taught to ignore their discomfort, to tough it out, to chalk it all up to aging and just deal with it. But that mindset doesn't serve us anymore, not in this stage of life, not when your body is trying to speak and you finally have the wisdom to listen. Your sleep is sacred, your prostate is important, and your peace of mind is not a luxury, it's part of your health. That's why catching these bedtime mistakes matters, because it's not just about urinating less at night, it's about reclaiming the quality of life that makes your days and your relationships feel whole again. What if you're already doing everything right? Now, if you're someone who's already cut back on fluids at night, who doesn't snack late or watch TV in bed, who stretches and breathes deeply and still wakes up twice a night, you might feel discouraged. But here's what I want you to know. Progress is not always obvious at first. Your body may need time to unwind years of accumulated stress, inflammation, or sleep disruption. Don't give up. Keep tracking your patterns. Keep adjusting, sometimes just shifting your bedtime by 30 minutes, or elevating your legs for 10 minutes before lying down, or eating your last meal a little earlier can make a world of difference. If you're consistent, your body will respond even if it does so slowly and quietly. A simple tool to help you track and transform. If you've ever thought, I can't remember what I did last night, or it's hard to tell what's actually helping, you're not alone. That's why many men over 60 are now turning to something simple but powerful, a prostate health tracking tool. It's a small app or even a printable daily sheet that lets you log just a few things. What time you drank your last glass of water, whether you had a late night snack and what kind, your evening stress level, low, medium, high, technology of woke up at night, whether you skipped your bathroom trip before bed. It takes 2 minutes a day, but it builds a real-time picture of your body's patterns. And that's where real change begins, not in guessing, but in seeing. Many men I've worked with tell me that once they started tracking their habits and symptoms, they noticed small clues that used to fly under the radar, like how even a salty soup at dinner could make them wake up twice, or how 5 minutes of deep breathing made a difference in their urination frequency. Tracking gives you control, it gives your doctor better information, and most of all, it helps you feel more connected to your own health, less confused, more empowered. If you're curious, you don't need fancy software to begin. Just start with a small notebook or print out a one-page checklist. As your awareness grows, so will your ability to adjust, one small decision at a time. Health isn't about doing everything right, it's about doing one thing consistently. By now, you've heard about the 7 habits that quietly affect prostate health. Some are physical, some emotional, some environmental. And no, you don't need to fix them all tonight. What you need is a beginning. Maybe it's skipping that late cup of herbal tea. Maybe it's leaving the news for the morning. Maybe it's placing a small fan by your bed to cool the room down just a bit. Choose one thing, do it tonight. Then build from there. I often tell my patients this truth. Your body doesn't want perfection, it just wants care. Not intensity, but consistency. Even the smallest change, done every night, can create a ripple effect you'll feel in your sleep, your mornings, your confidence, and your peace. You're not alone on this path. If you're still reading, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You care about your health, you're trying to understand your body better. You're not giving in to the idea that this is just how life has to be. and that makes you part of a growing movement, a movement of older men who are finally saying, I want to feel better, and I'm willing to take the first step. So let me ask you now, are you ready to take that step? Are you ready to give your body the conditions it needs to heal? Because it can heal slowly, gently, naturally. But it starts with listening, adjusting, and choosing peace over pressure every night before bed. Final thoughts and a new way forward. Prostate health isn't a mystery, it's a mirror of how we treat our bodies, especially during the hours when we're not even awake. And now you know the truth. The small bedtime habits you once ignored may be adding up in the background, but now you got the power to shift them. So tonight, choose calm, choose lightness, choose small actions that respect the temple you live in. Let your body rest, let your prostate breathe, let your nervous system finally feel safe enough to sleep. Thank you for walking this journey with me. I hope you'll stay connected, subscribe to the channel, and join me in future videos where I'll share even more practical science-backed advice tailored for men like you. Until then, I wish you peace, deep rest, and a healthier tomorrow, starting with the choices you make tonight. Take care, my friend. You deserve to feel good again.